What's that up on the horizon there? Is it an enormous planet-sized fireball of burning hydrogen? Otherwise known as the sun? Yes, Captain Obvious. It is indeed as obvious as Saints Row being a flop. That's... You don't say. Embracer Group, the Swedish holding company that's been buying up mid-sized title left, right and centre, is saying that it's going to be taking fewer risks after Saints Row. Well, here's the thing. Saints Row wasn't a risk, in the same way that jumping out of an aeroplane at 30,000 feet without a parachute is not a risk. It's suicide, plain and simple. And your ridiculous reboot was, well, not yours. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Generally speaking, I don't even recognize Swedes as human beings, but in this particular instance, I sympathize with Embracer Group because they appear to have been actually seriously trying to reinvigorate a lot of old franchises, and Volition decided to bend them over a barrel and insert a most painful and spiked rod right up their backside with the Saints Row Reboot, which was crafted to fail. Like this, there is a certain artistry involved in making something that so completely misses every single solitary singular point of the thing it's attempting to rebooting, whilst also turning off its entire target audience simultaneously, without even courting a new one. It's mildly remarkable. And apparently, it cost $100 million. My heavens, that was a lot of dollars flushed right down the toilet, wasn't it? In fact, you know what? It probably would have been better if you'd flushed it directly down the shitter, because at least that would have revitalized the local economy by giving the plumbers something to do. This is setting the money just straight on fire, isn't it? Oh, God. So, we're not going to talk too much about Saints Row's incredible, brutal, awful failure, because it was self-evident. Like, you don't need to talk about it, you don't need to play it, you don't need to see gameplay of it, you just need to watch the first trailer, and you will know everything as to why this game could never have worked, okay? Now, the fact that they turned the freckled bitches into, like, just stupid Wendy's knockoff restaurant. Aye. But here's the thing. There is a silver lining here, potentially. There is an opportunity for a bird phoenix to rise from the ashes here. There is a chance to revitalize this. Now, first and foremost, the Volition team. Fire them. All of them. Preferably with oil and gasoline, if at all possible. Alternatively, do it the legal way if you're going to pussy out on it, but strip the studio bare. Volition of all the glorious developer that made stuff like Free Space, which is absolutely brilliant, or Saints Row 2, which was also a really good game. They're dead. They're gone. Take the name, take the logo, strip everything else out, take the IPs, and then bring in people who might actually give a shit. And that's going to be difficult, because you're going to have to basically find them on the street. But they're going to care more than the current development team as the reboot so blindingly obviously demonstrated. You've got so many IPs here. Like, making a good Saints Row game is not going to be difficult, frankly. Just make them play through 2 and 1 and then go, okay, so we want kind of a mix between 1 and 2. We want a little bit of gritty realism. We want a little bit of Grand Theft Auto in there, right? The biggest selling video game ever. And we want the levity of 2. Then you mix these together, add in a bit of new technology, companion AIs, great, companions were always a big deal in Grand Theft Auto. Maybe even experiment with some AI chat manipulation nonsense to, boost knowledge about your game and try to get people back on board. Then promise that you will make a Saints Row game this time. Tell everyone what a woke mess the reboot was. Condemn it loudly from every single solitary rooftop and then commit to doing everything the exact opposite. Here, look at this picture. So here you have the nerdy, like, Nation of Islam black kid. You've got the other nerdy brown Muslim girl thing who's fully dressed. And then you've got the half-naked hot Asian dude. Alright, exact inverse. This guy, a stupid, brain-dead, stereotypical thug guy who thinks with his muscles and he's just for comic relief. The girl, take this guy's clothing, put them on her. In other words, the lack of it. Give it a bra if you really feel like it. And as for this guy, make him the prissy son of a bitch. Make him the uptight guy, you know? He's coming in there and he's this strict guy from a very tight Asian upbringing. He's like, my father would not approve of this. Like, make the jokes. Make the motherfucking jokes. And then add in a cringy-ass white dude as well, who is along for the ride with the gangster posse and acting as black as he possibly can. Make a full W-I-G-G-R out of him. Full on. Embrace the cringe, double-handed, make him the cringiest character you can imagine, because that is his role in this. His role is to be Carlton, straight up. Make a joke out of it, because that's the point of Saints Row. Give the player ridiculous weapons, give them a stupid gang fight to get involved in, get them souped up supercars with lots of customization, and then get them involved fighting the federal government or something, okay? Nice and simple. It's not hard. It genuinely is not. And again, free space. Reboot free space. I don't care if nobody knows about it anymore. It is ancient. Reboot it. It'll be great. You do need to get a decent team on it, but there's so many good IPs in Volition. Volition used to be quality, goddammit. And here's the thing too. You need to avoid the trap of Saints Row, where they felt like, okay, we've done this ridiculous thing, now we need to do something even more ridiculous. No, you don't. If anything, take a step back, dial it down a few notches, and have that be the change of pace instead if you absolutely must make a sequel, though, to be fair, I doubt that's gonna happen anytime soon, so, Don't write off the game, write off the studio. Easy as pie. And as for the idea of Saints Row and just the general idea of wokeism, right? Embrace the group. I know you're new to this. You're basically an investment company, right? You don't understand. You've been told that wokeism is the shitsel. It's the shitsel's nissel. It's awesome. Everybody loves it, you know? Go on Elon Musk's Twitter for a while. Have a look around. Look at the reactions to your Saints Row reboot, and you'll see the face of your actual consumer. That's the one you're supposed to be trying to, ask to play a game. And frankly, $100 million for what you got. You've been ripped off, sir. Consider lawsuits. Several, if at all possible. Because somebody screwed you. Oh, God. Like, I avoid that shit like the plague, but I was watching my friend Dev show up on Otaku played it. It's awful. Like, it's barely functional. $100 million bought that. You could do better for 50. In fact, just hire a bunch of interns directly off the streets or, like, the university. They'll probably do a better job, honestly. But even better, strip the company. You've got tons of developers at this point. Or even better, maybe you could consider farming it out to the bigger companies. I'm sure EA, who is desperate to get bought up at the moment, would love to leap at a space game, to do a little bit of Star Citizen competition maybe, but preferably in a single-player format. And God help me, do not make Fast Space. Did I say Farscape? I might have. Do not make Fast Space into some kind of MMO or an open world game or anything like just a good old-fashioned, structured, linear campaign with the Vesuvians and the creepy-ass red alien dudes showing up with big space battle, and you can do a little bit of branching here and there. You can add in some companions, some dudes flying alongside you. You absolutely could. Or even better, just remake 1 and 2. They are brilliant games to this day and will feel right at home in the modern market. You barely even need to touch them. Add in a little bit of modern joystick support, update the graphics a little bit. There are mods that have already updated the graphics for you. It's not going to be difficult. Just do it. Sweden, I beg of you. For once. Think with your head, not your ass. I know it is genetically difficult for the average Swede, but nevertheless, consider it as an option. Ah, God. Well, on the bright side, this should be the death of this type of Saints Row. I hope it isn't the death of the entire franchise, because I'd like to see some more Saints Row, but not like this. And hopefully it is the death of modern day Volition. Hell, I wouldn't even mind if the studio just straight up shuttered its doors now, and they gave over the stuff to somebody else. Just, not this. Never this. Never this. Never again. Never this again. Never. Ever. Burn. 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 And with that, I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be here to see you all again soon. Hopefully backlit by roaring flames. Have a good day.